Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today is another Thrift with me video. Today we are thrifting at Value Village. I was super excited. I was hoping that they had Christmas out. They didn't quite have like the full Christmas out, but I was just there yesterday. I didn't film a thrift with me because it was only a week had passed, and all of these shelves with the photo like art on them, they clear all that out, so that was all cleared out, so very exciting. But they did have some Christmas out. I just kind of skipped over the furniture section today. That didn't really have anything that interesting anyway, and there was a lot of people, but they did have some interesting lamps that I really liked, specifically this set. But I know I say this every video, but I just don't have a need for any lamps. I feel like I like all the lamps I have and I don't have room for any more, so sadly, yeah, I just don't need them. But then I spotted this one and I loved it so much. I was debating it for a long time, thinking about where I might be able to put it. I just thought it was so beautiful and I liked how it went on the wall, but it didn't need to be hardwired into the wall. Although I think you can do that with any lamp that plugs in like that. But ultimately I did leave it there, but I did really like it. I thought that one with the blue flowers was really pretty as well, but again, I don't need it. So then I saw John was waiting at the end of the aisle for me. Usually we just separate as soon as we go into the thrift store, but then sometimes he'll come over and want to talk to me about something. So then this entire aisle was filled with Christmas already, which is very exciting. I think I was filming this like maybe the weekend before Halloween. I really liked this tray. I did not get it, but it's very pretty. I have a piece of china I bought. Some of you might remember, it was a few years ago now, but it has this exact same pattern on it. But I really don't need any more Christmas mugs. I don't think anyway. It wasn't special enough for me to feel like I needed to buy it, but seeing all the Christmas stuff out has just got me so excited for the holidays. I recently, yesterday I went thrifting, and I did film a couple thrift with me's, and one of them is going to be exclusively a Christmas thrift with me because I went to a new thrift store that I'd never been to before, and they had so much Christmas out that I was like, I need to make this a separate video, otherwise the video would be like over an hour long, and I do try to keep them under an hour, but it's hard if you're in a big thrift store because you want to show everything, but you also don't want to make it too long. So then I spotted two of my glasses. So I have bigger versions. I don't think I have smaller ones. So I saw that they had two here. So I saw they had another pattern I used to have before. But now I'm just sticking with this pattern. So I thought I would pick those up. They're pretty inexpensive, two of them for $2.50. So I was excited to find those. I don't think I have any smaller ones, but we'll find out because I'm getting my Christmas stuff out tomorrow to start decorating. I know it's really early, but it just makes me happy, and that's all that matters. I also like to enjoy it for as long as I can, so I like getting started early. And I think I'm gonna film like a vlog, like a decorating vlog. So that will probably be coming soon, but I'll have a few more thrift with me's before that. I think this is the epitome of tacky Christmas, and I love it. I didn't get it, I left it there, but this is what I think of when I think of like the Christmases of my childhood. It's stuff like this, like the 70s, 80s, just, it's like Christmas threw up. I love it. I first saw these, I thought they were napkin holders, but they're actually little candles. I think they're supposed to be turkeys with kind of a little Christmas bow on. So I know in the US they celebrate Thanksgiving at the end of November. So I feel like Thanksgiving in the US is like more closely tied to Christmas, like versus Canada, we have it in early October, so it's like before Halloween even. Because I know I've heard a lot of people say like they decorate for Christmas, like Thanksgiving I believe is on a Thursday, and they decorate for Christmas that weekend after Thanksgiving, but some people say they decorate a little bit before, so something like that could work for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know. And then they also have like the Macy's Day Parade. I think that's on Thanksgiving. And there's a lot of Christmas stuff in the parade from what I remember, because I've watched it occasionally. I actually like to go back and watch like old ones, like from the 60s. I enjoy that more than like modern ones. I always love looking in the figurine aisle because you always see, like, you never know what you're gonna see, and sometimes you see really interesting things, and this is one of them. And I'm actually still thinking about this, so I'm hoping that one of you know and can leave it in the comments. But I know I've seen a lot of these type of things that hold toilet paper rolls, but this one was not that, or at least I can't figure out how it would hold a toilet paper roll, but it had like two pieces of like china saucers, and they were like crocheted over almost, like, but it was held together as well with like buttons or snaps. I don't know, I was looking at it for a long time trying to figure out in my brain like what you would use it for, what goes inside, or is it just simply decor like that? But it doesn't, it seems like because it's in two pieces it must hold something. I'm not sure. Maybe you do just put a roll of toilet paper in between them, but I just think it would be weird because it would be uncovered toilet paper. I don't know. But my grandma had a toilet paper roll cover in her bathroom with like a doll on top, and it's one of my like core memories from childhood. It was in this like half bath that she had in her basement. Very like just so nostalgic for me. Then I saw this, which I did leave there because I felt like I didn't need it, but I love this so much. It's a little mouse Avon lady, like knocking on the door, Avon calling. I love it so much. But I was trying to think, where would I put that in my home? I couldn't think of anywhere. So I did leave it, but I do think it's super cute. And then I saw a bunch of skunks, little figurines, which anytime I see a lot of the same type of thing, I always just think like, oh, that was someone's collection. I don't know. Sometimes it makes me a little bit sad because I think like maybe the person passed away or something. This first one has like little holes in it, and it makes me think it's supposed to be the ones that have like the chains from like the mom to the babies. I don't know what they're called, but I see them a lot with like dogs and cats. They're quite cute, all of them. I do have a couple of skunk figurines already, so I didn't feel like I needed any more than that, but they were pretty cute. I was so curious about the first one because they had the little holes in it that I peeled the price tag back to see if it had any markings on it because I wanted to Google it. I was considering like whether or not I should get that one to resell, but I didn't see anything in the bottom, and then I gave up. And then, like I mentioned, I was there at the same store yesterday, just a week after I filmed this, and I did see that all the skunks were still there. I didn't film a thrift with me because it would have pretty much been all the same things there, but we just took a quick run in as we were out thrifting at other stores, and we had to drive by to get home. So yeah, it was a lot of the same stuff in there, unfortunately. These little houses here reminded me of Spice Village, which I cannot believe how expensive Spice Village is now. I guess it just got really viral on social media, but I remember I used to see Spice Village pieces all the time when I was thrifting, and now I just can't believe how much they are. But I did just see that Lenox is re-releasing Spice Village, which, if you're familiar, I've mentioned it a few times that we want to have a cottage in the future. It might not be for a long time. I feel like I need to say that so people aren't like, aren't you supposed to be buying a cottage? Probably not for a long time. It's not a priority, but it is a dream. So I really want to do the kitchen in like late 80s, early 90s kind of vibes, just something different than what we have in our regular house. So I really wanted Spice Village, and then that's when I realized, oh wow, this is like insane. I'm pretty sure if you wanted all of them, it would be a couple $1,000s at this point, which, you know, as much as I want it, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But I recently read that they're going to re-release it, and for the same price that it was in 1989 when it first came out. So I think it's like $15 a piece, which isn't exactly cheap, but it's, I mean, for a single piece now, I see it over $100 online all the time. So I'm excited, and I think I kind of want to just order the full set, even though we don't have a cottage yet, but that's okay. I feel like I'm just manifesting it by buying things for it. And I really believe that it will happen one day, and it's okay if it doesn't happen for 10 years. It's fine. Anyway, I did just want to mention the fact that they are re-releasing it. I think you could probably buy it maybe in a store if you live in the US, but I think you can just buy it online, like on their website. I haven't like deep dived into it. I just saw an article about it. So I think that's very smart though, because they're probably going to make a ton of money from re-releasing it because it's been so popular on social media that everybody wants it. But so I think like the full set is like a little over 200, which, like I mentioned, I think the full set of originals is like 2,000, which is crazy. But I'm very excited, so I'm really thinking about doing it because that's like, you know, I'm not sure how long it's going to be out for, so I'm excited though. In the vase section here, I looked down and I noticed a ton of like baby planters. I think this is probably popular to put in like baby's nursery, but I was surprised to see so many and so many similar altogether. Like there's a lot of the boot ones. I recently listed a bunch of planters to my Etsy store. So I was like looking at the prices to see if it was worth reselling. I really liked this, I guess it's a bassinet back there. It's just different, but I was thinking maybe somebody was collected a bunch of these and just donated them because it's weird to see so many all at the same time. I like that they always put Christmas stuff out on the end caps as well. So there was Christmas out on all of the end caps. I haven't seen, well, in this video I didn't see anything vintage Christmas. I should rephrase that, because yesterday when I was thrifting I did find some vintage Christmas, which I'm excited about. One thing I almost didn't even notice, but you'll see those in probably next week's Thrift with Me, so very exciting. I love these tinted glasses. I already have some, so I really don't need any more, but every time I see them, I'm so tempted to buy them. I have them in a different, like more of the smoke color, but I do love this color as well, which is why I was spending so much time looking at them. And there was a few earlier in the video as well. I'm pretty sure every Canadian remembers these glasses, unless maybe you weren't born then, but those are from the 1988 Olympics, and you could buy them at a gas station. I'm pretty sure it was Petrocan that you could buy them at least in the province I lived in at the time, but my parents had a whole bunch of them, and I do see them pretty frequently at thrift stores, but they had all, like, every different shaped glass possible, I think. So I think a lot of people probably bought them because they were probably pretty inexpensive to buy, or maybe it was like a stamp program. I don't remember because I was still a kid then, but we had a ton of them. These stood out to me right away because I don't think I've ever seen them before, but it's like the butterfly gold pattern on these mugs. Honestly, under the fluorescent lights, I feel like I'm blind, and that's the only time is when I'm in a store with fluorescent lights, but I can't think of the name, but I'm pretty sure it starts with a T. That's what brand they were. I'm almost positive. I can't make it out, even though I showed the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it hurts my eyes, the reflection and the glare. They had this big stoneware set, which is quite nice. They had like all the pieces there too, like even the butter dish was quite nice. They even had like the nice big gravy. I want to call it a gravy boat, but it also doesn't sound right. I hate when that happens. You say like a word, but it doesn't sound right. I don't know. Sometimes it happens when you write a word too. Although, I guess these days most people don't spend a lot of time writing words because everyone's just typing. I heard that in schools now they don't even teach kids like how to write, like handwriting, which is so crazy. Because like I'm not that old, so it's, I don't know. That was such a big part of learning in elementary school. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like if you've never been taught how to actually like handwrite, how will you be able to read that? And I just think that would be really weird to not be able to read handwriting. Like I know, you know, we're moving into technology and things, but still it's kind of like if kids can't tell time like on a clock because they just look at digital all the time. I don't know, it's weird. I was wondering if kids had to learn like their times tables too, because now everyone just basically walks around with a calculator. Because that was like that's like a big memory of mine, having to memorize the times table because, you know, the teacher said we wouldn't have a calculator. But boy, were they wrong. saw what looked like would have been really pretty bowls, but it's almost like maybe they were put in the dishwasher or something, or scrubbed too hard, because it looked like it was flowers that was on them, and I had a hard time seeing a name on them. But the one bowl, you could still see the flowers, but the other ones were pretty damaged, so it's unfortunate. I think that's a big reason why that happens, though, is people put those dishes in dishwashers, like not realizing that you shouldn't, and then that's what happens. I know I have a spring blossom bowl. I don't know if I've ever even shown it, but that's like the entire glaze part has come off of it, probably for that reason. But I don't know. I still bought it anyway. Or maybe someone gave it to me. I don't remember where I got it or where it came from, but I don't actually like use it and like with anything to do with food, though. I love this little plate and cup set. I love things like that in general. I did notice when I was there yesterday that it was still there. I thought somebody would scoop that up, but maybe the price was just too high for people. I'm always drawn to dishes like this, but I do have so many that I was like, put it back, you already have enough. And then immediately after that, I spotted the chip bowl that I see in every thrift store, basically. It must have just been really popular around here. I feel like they must have been sold in like Sears, maybe, because we live I feel like our whole province is pretty rural. So a lot of people shopped at Sears, like through the catalog. So I don't know. It had to have been that, or like maybe Zellers, but I don't think there was probably that many Zellers stores back then, really, realistically, like in my province anyway. But I don't know, because I see at least 1 to 3 every time I go in a thrift store. I saw this Kellogg's bowl that intrigued me. I don't remember this crunchy nut, so I was like, oh, maybe this is really old, but it was, I guess it's more than 20 years old, but it said 2001 on the bottom, but I don't remember that cereal at all. Have this green dish, but I definitely paid less than $7.99 for it. But it was a while ago. I loved that cake stand. I thought it was so pretty, but it's not really my vibe. I also thought this creamer was so pretty too. I have a similar one, but it's in the Spice of Life motif. And then I spotted another chip bowl, which is, I have the same one, but it's in green. I will say a lot of times when I see these chip bowls, though, they are either missing the smaller bowl that goes on, and they're usually always missing the attachment part, even if they have the small bowl. I think people just probably lose that over time. But so I am grateful that I was able to find so many that have the attachment and the small bowl. I saw some Christmas cards. So I was thinking, well, first of all, I'm just gonna say I'm so excited. I mentioned in my last Thrift With Me video a couple days ago about doing a Christmas card exchange, and I really wasn't sure like if people would be into it or not. But I had been thinking about it for probably at least 2 months, thinking like, oh, that would be so fun. I wonder if anybody would like want to do that. I really wasn't sure though, but I'm so excited that so many of you were so excited to do it as well. So I definitely want to do it. I was thinking, oh, it'd be cool if I could find like vintage Christmas cards, because then I could send you guys back a vintage Christmas card, but I haven't really found any. I thought I found some yesterday, but it turned out to be not vintage cards. But I'm not going to worry too much about that, because but I'm very excited about it. Now, the only hiccup that I didn't mention in the last video is Canada Post, our mailing system, and the place that my P.O. box is, may be going on strike. I think they can strike like today. I know they need to give 72 hours, so John was talking to our mail lady in our local post office, and she said they would probably be like on Thursday is probably when the strike would happen. Now, I'm pretty confident they are going to strike. I'd be surprised if they didn't. But also, because of the time of year it is, like, I'm hoping that the strike, if they do strike, it wouldn't go on for a long time. Like, that they would try to get things resolved because of the time of year it is. So I'm just gonna hold off for like a week maybe to see like how that goes. Maybe they won't strike. I feel pretty confident they will, because I think they've been in negotiations for like a year and haven't come to any resolution. So they're probably like, okay, we're gonna strike now. But so I'll wait like a week to see where things are at, and even if they do go on strike and maybe it gets resolved in like a week or two, I still think we have a fair amount of time before Christmas. And then the worst case scenario, I guess, would be that maybe they do go on strike for a little bit, it gets resolved, and then like maybe you send me a card. I think I'm just gonna try to send the cards back like the same day or the next day. We pretty much have to go to the post office every day during this time of year because we sell a lot of stuff online, so I could get it mailed back like very quickly. It's just maybe it might get to you after Christmas is, well, I'm thinking, if it's going to like another country or something, I don't know, but maybe you'd be fine with that too. So I don't know, I'm just gonna like wait and see what goes on with the strike situation. So we'll see like where things are at like a week from now, but I'll definitely keep you updated through videos or like maybe on my community tab. I know some people don't look at that or don't see that, but if you go to my channel, there's a tab called community. Sometimes I post there, like if a video is coming out or if I want to mention something to you, I don't know. But anyway, we'll figure it out. So I found another one of these cookie presses. I had one in the past. I made a video with it a few years ago, like a Christmas video with it. And then I did end up selling it on Etsy because I didn't want to personally use it. But I do have another one I found recently for sale on Etsy. So I did end up picking this one up too. At first I thought it was missing all of the plates, but then I realized they're all just down in the bottom of the box. So I picked this one up to sell again. I think I sold it for like $40. So even at $7.99, it's pretty good. Even if I got like $30 for it, it's still pretty good. So I think I'm gonna work on getting that put up on Etsy. I don't think I've ever seen this before, anything like this before, but what a great idea. Like, not necessarily for myself because it's just the two of us here, so I'm not typically cooking enough things in there, but like if you were cooking a big holiday gathering, I think this is pretty cool. The only thing I find weird and I wouldn't do myself is I wouldn't cook like a pie at the same time as like savory food, because I feel like the smells from the savory food would like infiltrate my baked goods. I don't know, maybe it doesn't work that way, but that's all I could think about when I saw the pie in there with like other savory things. Then I spotted these duck, like geese trivets in really good shape, and I thought this is something that's unique that I could get for the future cottage. So I did end up picking those up. I showed John them, and he was like, yeah, we should definitely get those. I see a lot of the geese stuff, but I don't buy it. I'm just trying to buy like things that are more unique that I might not see again, I guess, because I don't want to be like storing too much stuff. And then I spotted this Coleman, like, I was going to call it a cooler, but it's like a jug, water jug. My grandparents had the exact same one, and we used to use it when we go camping. My grandparents would go camping all the time, and we would go with them when I was young, and it's like some of my favorite childhood memories. And then John and I, a few years ago, we went to the same campground that we used to go to, and it was so special. And actually this is when my mom was still alive, my mom and my grandma like came to the campground to visit us, and because it's like, you know, they still live back like where I grew up, and it was so special like for my grandma to be there all those years later, because this is like back in the 80s and maybe early 90s. And yeah, the memory of them and us being camping is like now another treasured memory of mine, especially because my mom like passed away and stuff, because she at that time was talking about, oh, like I should get a tent and I could come camping at the same time as you guys, and we were making all these plans, and obviously that isn't gonna happen now. But John and I do want to go back to that campground. It's so amazing. But it's just we can't really go anywhere or do anything while we still have Marley with us, because we can't like leave her. Like I don't even feel comfortable leaving her like with someone else here, because she's a very shy cat, and she, you know, I can't, like, I don't even really like going out at all, like even during the day when we go thrifting. It's like all I can think about is like getting home to her, and that's usually where I spend all my time once I get home, because I don't know, she's so old, and I feel bad that she's by herself. So yeah, it'll be, you know, we won't get to do that until after she's not here anymore, and I don't want to wish away the time that I have with her either. So, you know, it would be great if that didn't happen for a few more years, but I'm trying to mentally prepare myself as well, because she is like 19 and a half now. Whenever I see these like kind of pots and pans with the colorful designs on the outside, every single time it just makes me wish that they still made pots and pans like this, or that a company would like release some as kind of like a retro throwback or something. I have faith that it will happen, but when it does, especially if they release like a 70s kind of style, I would be giving them all my money for that. And then I spotted this wok. My dad actually had, and maybe he still does have it, the exact same wok. I don't know if they even really make these anymore, because I looked for them for a good 25 years, I think. And my mom was looking for them too, because I wanted one so bad for such a long time. I just feel like it made the best food in it. But yeah, that's what my dad would use to make like homemade Chinese food when I was a kid. And I don't know, he might even still have it. This was a pattern of corningware that I had never seen before, but I did notice there was two, so I put them together so that maybe somebody would buy them both. And then I saw this like spice of life patterned dishes. They were just made of plastic, but in the thrift store that I used to work at, they actually had the same style, not dishes, but they were plastic canisters. So that's what I thought of when I saw them. I feel like I have enough spice of life stuff though, so I didn't feel compelled to buy them. There were so many French onion soup bowls on this day. I feel like that is another staple item that you just always see in thrift stores. I freaking love French onion soup, so we obviously already have some. It's like one of my favorite comfort meals, actually. I was thinking I should make some soon. These kind of coffee makers and the shape remind me of like the 90s, like my childhood. And then I've been noticing a lot of these lately, these like colorful, I think they're usually made by Rival, these colorful crock pots. That's another thing I wish, well, I can't fully say that because I actually did buy a new one that, if you've watched my kitchen tour, then you've seen it, but it definitely fits in with my 70s kitchen. But it was just a smaller one. I don't think I've seen bigger ones they're they're more just, everything is so plain these days. I don't know. I feel like everything was so fun in like the 70s and 80s and before that, and it just, things started becoming very like monotoned and plain, and everyone's got a white kitchen, like white and gray. Although I have seen in the past few years people are really like leaning in towards the color, which the same people would be like saying color was so out of date. I don't know, it's so funny, I've talked about this before, but you know, like people would be like, wallpaper is so out of date, and then now everyone's using wallpaper. It's like, how do your likes and your dislikes just be like following the trends? It's like, to me, you're just following trends. You don't actually have like a, like, if you love wallpaper, do you just stop loving wallpaper when it's not trendy anymore? I don't know. I just find things like that very amusing. I don't know if I've ever seen this many mixers like at the same time in the same store, but that was interesting. They had the same one there that I have, but mine's like avocado. But then they had like a newer kind of maybe like 90s, 2000s version. So I've noticed they switched things around a little in the media area, which I typically like don't film that much because it doesn't, I usually need to use like both my hands to look through, but it's usually what I do at the end. I'll look through like the VHS and all that, and I always show you if I buy anything from there. But then I do look at the cookbook. Sometimes I film that, sometimes not. I usually look at before I get to the cookbooks, there's kind of like a little crafting book area. So I feel like I've pretty much found all the ones that I was looking for. Like that one that I'm showing there, I already have that one, and I just always look just in case, but it's been a while since I found one that like I didn't already have. And then it kind of goes into like a little bit of like home design type books, which I did. It's been a few months now, maybe longer. I did find this series, like it's almost like an encyclopedia, but it's for home design from like the early 70s. So I really want to complete that, but I haven't seen any after that. And then we get to the cookbooks. Like I said, I only collect Betty Crocker and the Better Homes and Gardens. I do see a ton of Better Homes and Gardens, especially on this day. But I have a list on my phone now of all the ones that I have, and basically the only ones I see are ones I already have, because I kept rebuying them because I had so many. I finally took the time to, you know, they had a lot of good ones there too, like this holiday cookbook. I think it's from 1959. That's one of my all-time favorites. And then I looked and I noticed they had a second one of that. But I do think I have a couple extra copies like to resell, so I didn't, paying $5.99 for a cookbook isn't a great price to resell, so I usually don't pick them up from Value Village to resell, but sometimes I find them for like 25 cents, 50 cents. Then that makes sense. So now we'll show you what I got. So I ended up getting this brand new pizza stone. I've been wanting a pizza stone for a couple of years now. I used to have one, and I think it got broke during a move. And so I've been thinking about getting one, but every time I look online, they just cost so much for like what it is, I guess. So when I saw this one was like brand new, I was like, you know what, $20 isn't bad in comparison. And we also had like a 20% off coupon. So, and then I found this Frank Sinatra record, which I don't think I already have. I just took the risk that maybe I already have it because I would regret not buying it. So it has a lot of my favorite Frank songs on it. So got that, very excited. And then also, like I already mentioned, I did get the cookie press to resell. You know, I am just not a cookie press type of baker, because I mentioned it in the video that I made a few years ago, but it was not an enjoyable experience. But I know these are like a popular thing people like, so I'm gonna resell it. And then John he looks at the books more extensively than I do. And so he noticed this Debbie Reynolds autobiography. I love reading like old Hollywood biographies. So he's like, oh, would you want this? I was like, yes, I would want that. So I got that. And then obviously I got the 2 glasses as well. I'm like 90% sure I don't have these small ones and I just have the big ones. We'll see when I get my Christmas stuff out. But this year, I think when I get everything out, I'm gonna make a note in my phone about what I do have and what I don't have, so that I'll know when I'm in the thrift store. And then, yeah, I also got these 2, like, trivets. They do have things where you can hang them on the wall, so that's probably what I would do, maybe. But, I don't know, they were in really good shape, and I just thought, this is something that I might not come across again, so let me go ahead and buy those for a later date. And then I was 99% sure I didn't have this one, but it's Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. So both Rudolph and Frosty were made by Rankin Bass, but Frosty, it was not done in the stop motion style that they're really popular, like, known for, but this kind of crossover one is, so it's kind of cool, like the Frosty and his wife Crystal, they're like done in stop motion as well. But I was pretty sure I don't have this one, and if you know, you know, but if you're newer here, I have a massive collection of Christmas movies and Christmas cartoons, so it's like probably nearing 200 at this point, but mostly VHS, but if I see a DVD, I'll get it. But I found a few VHS. That is one of my favorite Westerns, and John's never seen it before, so I was happy to find that. And then we found Short Circuit, which I actually, I had never seen this before, but this is a movie that John watched a lot when he was a kid, but I do think it's super cute and like very 1980s. But yeah, I had never seen it before. And then I found Conspiracy Theory, which I love this movie. I feel like it's hard to find. I think I have found the DVD, but I wanted the VHS. I don't know why, but I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It's weird, but it's a really good movie. I hadn't seen it in a really long time until I found the DVD recently. But then I also found this set of like blank tapes, and I just wanted it for nostalgia. I used to actually use that exact same brand and everything, and I would program my VCR to record things, like mostly soap operas, like when I was at school, but I would record them in like the longest form, like, so the quality would be pretty bad. Like, well, I don't know, I guess you didn't really know any better then, but I was wishing that I still had some of those tapes recently, but I was thinking about how bad the quality would be, so, but anyway, it just gave me nostalgia, and so I just thought I would get them. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and like I said, there's a couple, I think I have 2 or 3 more Thrift With Me's filmed, so I'll be posting those next week, and then I do have a vlog as well from like Halloween, like the end of October, that I think will probably be the next video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.